Hey everyone, I think my network connection is not going to be very good here. Hmm. So on this presentation about streaming, I'm not sure if I'm even working with you. So if anyone can hear this, can you send me a message saying that you're actually hearing me and that you're actually getting some kind of stream? I think there might be quite a delay, so we'll see. What I'm trying to do is actually a little bit complicated. I'm trying to capture myself streaming while trying to set up streaming, which requires me to be running multiple streaming softwares, and I'm creating all sorts of infinite loops. So there's a great possibility that my entire system might crash horribly and burn, or that my network won't be able to handle it, or that something, yeah, something. Yeah, something weird's going to happen with this computer. I did freeze things in D3 horribly last night when I started running NDI from two streaming services. I created some horrible infinite loops. So we'll see. Right, so let's get started. First of all, I'm using OBS at the moment. Sure, hold on. Okay, you should. Wow, this. It's nuts, man. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now, guys? Right. I don't know. So you lost. You didn't hear anything I said, did you?
No, you have to restart.
Okay. Thanks, man. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. All right. I'll start over. Thank you. Cheers. Okay. Well, thanks for that, guys. Sorry, if I have my webcam on, you can't hear my audio. This is good fun of streaming. So we're creating infinite loops here, and you can't hear anything unless I'm set up that right. So apparently I have to go back to the beginning. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and say that. So originally I said, look, if you want to check out what I'm talking about, go to my live page on my website, or also check out season 1 of what we're working on. Just check that out if you wouldn't mind. Join our YouTube channel. I'm going to try and do this maybe every day, maybe other day, and just do something different every day to stop from being bored and to keep making stuff, and hopefully showing other people too. All right, so now let's go to XSplit Broadcaster. So right now I am streaming to you using OBS, and I'm using XSplit Broadcaster, how I'd set up to be able to show different applications and be able to switch between those for seamless streaming. Now, it's not seamless streaming because already you can tell I've broken it several times today, and I'm also creating infinite loops all over the place, which are really stressing my system out and also my network. But I'm trying to do something quite special, which is showing you how to stream while streaming, which is really tough. So the first thing is I have been setting up this page so that I have different presets that I can jump to, and so you can label each of those presets here, where I've got Maya here. And what I was doing is for Maya I have to do one way, for D3 I have to do another way, and then for Notch I can do it a third way, and so I wanted to kind of go through that with you and show you what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to try and jump back over occasionally and look at the comments. Okay, cool. So there are some still comments. Can you guys still hear me? Can I just double check that for me? Can you guys send me a message and say, yeah, we can still hear you, Shannon? I'd appreciate that. I believe you can. So, right. Can you guys still hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Don't know what the delay is. Yeah, cool. All right, great. There's a long delay. Okay. Okay. Where was I? So back here to XSplit Broadcaster. No, that's not what I want. I want to be... Sorry, there's so many windows going on here. It is crazy. Okay. So XSplit, that's OBS, XSplit Broadcaster. Okay, right. So first thing I'm going to do is set up Maya. So I've got Maya open, and in my Maya preset here within XSplit Broadcaster, which you should be seeing, just double checking that you are seeing that. Yes, you are. So in XSplit Broadcaster, sorry, this is really tricky. Okay, so in XSplit Broadcaster, I am going to, I've added a source, and that source came in from my display 1. And I did that by adding a source, going to screen capture, going to monitor capture, and doing display 1. Now, I mentioned this before. The reason why I'm actually having to share the display rather than just sharing the window is that if I just share the window, I don't get all of the GUI elements, and I want to be able to show people what I'm working on, also show them my mouse movements. So in this case, the best thing to do is actually to do a display capture. So once I've got that set up, I actually did a little bit of layout adjustment. I scaled it. I did a little bit of cropping just to make sure that I've got just the window that I want. And so now if I'm working in Maya, So I want to create, so for example, a sphere. I've got that, and I'm now working live, and I can see that through my broadcast, which is cool. So then I'm going to switch over here to my Disguise project. Now Disguise, because it runs in a windowed application, all of the GUI elements are actually live. So even if I'm, let's see, this may be tricky. This is why I have to run it in windowed mode. Okay, so there is a thing you have to do with Disguise. I've just hit it, which is that I'm not currently running in windowed mode. So let's show you that before we do anything. So I'm going to quit my D3 project. And instead I'm going to open my D3 project. So what I want to do is go to Help, and I want to open this D3 project in assistance mode, which doesn't seem to be available. Why is that? Let's see. If I move it over here, Help. Weird. It might be that actually, because OBS is open, I can't open it in. That may be a problem. I swear I had this working last night. That's always one of those things when you try to do a live demo. Well, let's try and open it again, and let's see what we can do. We can do, no, that wouldn't share the GUI. Why did I do last night? It's always a question. Any ideas, please feel free to give me some comments. Any comments on that, guys? Nope, you guys are all good. So basically, the problem I'm hitting is that apparently I can't open this project in assistance mode. Oh, no, all right, now I can. Do I still have you guys? You guys have a pause from me. No data from me. Hold on. Woo! Dude. I'm almost back, I swear. Okay, so now with D3, do I have... Okay. I can't actually tell if I've got you guys or not. Do I have you? Apparently I'm on, but it's really rough, so my bad. This is going really well. Okay, so in here, okay, so let's just keep going. I think I've got you guys again. Basically, I'm going to, now, cool, now I've got it. Okay, so now if I want to use D3, and I also have D3 streaming. Okay, so that's now set up. So now we have Maya, if we're switched to Maya, and now if I switch to D3, I have to switch my input to D3. What we're going to do is set up some hotkeys once we have these all mapped, so that we can switch between these without having to run this. I'm really interested in any ideas that anyone has about how to automate that process. I've been thinking about MIDI, OSC, so any ideas welcome. I'm trying to figure out a better way to be able to do all of this so that it's much smoother when I want to do a presentation than this has been. Cool, so let's put in Notch as well. So I do have Notch open. And if I come over here, I'm actually going to remove that and try again, add a source. In this case, if I do a screen capture I should be able to find my Notch project. Yeah, so now my Notch project is open. And so now I can switch between Maya, again when it's open, Disguise, and Notch. And I might also want to do a web browser or capture a window like my YouTube settings, for example, so that I can show you how you would copy your stream key, which would be here, and be able to put it into your streaming software, into the settings of your streaming software. Your settings of your streaming software, which wow, it's really hard to know what screen I'm sorry. Which you can set up also for doing. So you can set up basically how you stream to YouTube, which is a fairly straightforward process. You can go live in YouTube really easily just by clicking the Go Live button and then copying that information into your streaming engine, which will allow you to stream out. Now, one other thing that is kind of cool is in both XSplit and OBS, you can do a playout, and this is where things get a little bit funky. So. And I may crash things horribly, but I can actually do an NDI output here of my playout. You have to have NDI tools installed, but now that I've done that, I can also do things like go into D3, for example, and set up that I actually want to take in my video input capture. I actually want to take my map of my NDI stream. And now if I put a video on and do my media, and I put my camera 1 on here, now if I go to OBS or I go as I say, I switch into a scene like here. So now I'm getting streams into streams into streams, which is kind of a funny loop back effect that I have going on. So now we're generating some pretty pretty interesting behavior on the behalf of the network here. Which is kind of funky and fun. So going back for a second just to our streaming system here with this broadcaster that we're using, one thing you can do is go into the settings of this. So if we click on settings, and we can set up some hotkeys. Now, this is going to be really important. And again, if anyone has any ideas about connecting this to MIDI, I have been thinking about maybe using Isadora to patch MIDI to keystroke, but that seems like a long way to go about it. And if anyone knows of a plugin or some better way to be able to connect a MIDI desk so I can crossfade between things, that's really what I'd like to be able to do. So I now have the ability here to switch to these things. What you do is you put this in, so you have to hit Alt, and I'm going to do Alt F3 here, D3. I'm going to do Alt 2, the number 2, and switch to Notch. I'm going to make that Alt 4. And now, if I use those hotkeys, I can switch between my different applications seamlessly. So now if I set this up, this is going to be Maya, so I have to make sure that my Maya window is open. But now if I hit D3, I can switch to D3, and now if I hit 4, I can switch to Notch. So that's a really cool way of being able to flip between these things. And actually, come to think of it, I could be broadcasting my camera at the moment in scene 4, and then you would be able to see it and probably still hear my audio. So we'll have to check and see how that goes. I have no idea if you're still hearing me at all, but I'm just going to keep going and hope that the buffering is all that you're getting. So let's see. I wanted to go to here and I wanted to get a camera. So instead of on scene 4, I'm going to remove that. And instead in scene 4, I'm going to do, let's see, stream. Sorry, I'm getting old and I can't actually read what I'm, there we go. Okay, so now we should have, yes, now we should have my audio coming from there. Yeah, okay, cool. So now what I'm doing is I'm streaming my camera into now you have it going from different sources that way. If you wanted to do more streams or more different sources and be able to switch between those setups easily, I have to switch to Maya there. So now I'm in Maya. So now I can switch to Disguise. Now I can switch to Notch all seamlessly while I'm giving my presentation or giving my tutorial setup. Yeah, so that was a bit of fun. Just curious what other thoughts people have about how to improve on this setup or other ways to do it. It's great to get that feedback, and I'm trying to make this better every day. And this is literally what I figured out this morning because my last webinar wasn't great. I realized that actually I had done an entire tutorial for an hour and 15 minutes without putting a single GUI element in to show what I was actually clicking on. So I wanted to dive deep and figure out ways to be able to make this run more efficiently and work through this. I still don't know if this is the best way. At the moment, I feel like it's a bit confounding about how all these different ways have to be able to connect, and obviously these infinite loops are pretty wild. So this is good fun. How many different layers can you have going through a system, and what can you do to break it? So anyway, I'm going to stop for now. I really appreciate any feedback, any ideas you have. If anyone has any ideas about things that they'd like to see, I'm probably going to do one on UV mapping. It sounds like that's going to be popular. I might do some more just like 15-minute challenges or other things every day, but I'm trying to stay busy, trying to stay active, and want to do more stuff. So if anyone else wants to share and learn and do stuff, then let's make some cool things together, and let's see if we can network using NDI and make content with each other. That might be fun as well. Maybe make a notch scene that's being played over NDI straight into a D3 world that I'm creating, or some audio streaming to be able to live mix a show straight into a scene that we're creating together. All of that would be really fun, and I'd really love to try and see what we can come up with, and any ideas that anyone has about how to experiment with doing more with streaming and trying to create more presentations like this. I'm really interested. So again, I'm going to log off for now. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that even worked. We'll see, and I look forward to hearing from you.